You know how people talk about when Lucifer got kicked out of heaven, him and God got into it because he wanted to be God? I don't even think that's really in the scripture. And maybe it is somewhere else and I just haven't found it yet. But I think there's a little bit more detail to that whole altercation. And I don't think we even need to know everything that was discussed. But I think this one thing would help us get a clearer understanding. I think God and the angels were kind of arguing over whether or not to grant us free will. I think they were arguing over whether or not we should have the ability to disobey God. And I think Lucifer's argument was, why are we allowing these minions to disobey us? And I think that argument is why so many angels agreed with Lucifer. They looked at us like these are some peons. Like, why are you talking about them like this? Why are you speaking of them in such a high regard? They're filth. And God was just pretty much like, man, watch out. I'm not making android humanoids. I want them to love me for real, not because I forced them to love me. I'm gonna give a real world example, right? Let's say you got two men. Lucifer is the man that's like, man, just tell her what she want. She gonna love you. Just tell her everything she wanna hear and she'll love you. And God like, nah, I don't want to tell her everything she wanna hear. I want to tell her the truth. If she don't love me for telling her the truth, then she not for me. The irony of this entire video is that I believe a third of humans agree with Lucifer. I believe a third of humans believe that God should have made humans with limited abilities. A third of humans believe that God shouldn't have given humans free will. Of course, I can't measure it. I can't put a number on it. But as much as I converse with disbelievers, this is their position. It just coincidentally lines up with Lucifer's position. And I'm going to take it a step further. I think the conversation Satan had with God about Job is a similar conversation Lucifer had with God about humans. God was like, these are my creation, you're going to love them. And Lucifer was like, no, they are not going to listen. They're going to be disobedient. I'll prove it. I'll show you. And God's like, nah, like, this my people, yo. God was vouching for us, and Lucifer was like, nah, I ain't rocking with them. Fortunately for us, God didn't listen to Lucifer. Because had he not used his discretion, we wouldn't even have discretion.